Death. It's the one thing even a Jedi can't force push away. From noble sacrifices to shocking betrayals, Star Wars has been breaking our hearts for over 4 decades. Today, we're diving into the galaxy's most devastating losses, the deaths that made us ugly cry into our popcorn and question why we keep doing this to ourselves. Grab your tissues, nerve herders, because we're about to feel all the feelings. Let's start with the wise ones who taught our heroes everything they know, except how to survive, apparently. Qui-Gon Jinn set the standard for tragic mentor deaths way back in The Phantom Menace. This maverick Jedi discovered Anakin Skywalker and believed in him when the Council wouldn't. His death at Darth Maul's hands wasn't just the loss of a great Jedi, it was the loss of the one person who might have kept Anakin from his dark path. Qui-Gon saw past rules and politics to find the good in people. His final moments, meditating as Obi-Wan watched helplessly behind that energy field, pure heartbreak. Fun fact, Qui-Gon's death directly led to him discovering how to become a Force ghost, so at least he got the last laugh. Obi-Wan Kenobi gave us the original noble sacrifice in A New Hope. Strike me down, and I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Those words hit different when you realize this man raised Anakin, watched him fall, defeated him on Mustafar, and then spent 19 years in the desert protecting his son. His peaceful acceptance of death, that little smile before Vader's blade connected, it's beautiful and devastating. He knew Luke needed to see him fall to fully embrace his destiny. Talk about playing the long game. Yoda's death in Return of the Jedi proves that even 900-year-old space frogs can make us weep. After surviving Order 66, training countless Jedi, and fighting in wars across centuries, the greatest Jedi Master simply got old. His final words to Luke about there being another Skywalker, his peaceful transition into the Force, it marked the end of an era. The last of the old Jedi Order, gone. When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not. Even facing death, the little green guy kept a sense of humor. Kanan Jarrus from Star Wars Rebels gave us perhaps the most visually stunning mentor death. This former Padawan, who survived Order 66, spent years running from his Jedi identity before becoming a teacher himself. His sacrifice to save Hera and the Ghost crew was telegraphed by his haircut. Never trust a Star Wars character who suddenly changes their look. The Force giving him back his sight for those final moments with Hera? I'm not crying, you're crying. His death shaped Ezra's path and proved that even those who consider themselves failed Jedi can be the greatest heroes. Because nothing says Star Wars like doomed romance and broken hearts. Padme Amidala died of a broken heart, literally, according to that medical droid. After watching her husband massacre younglings and force choke her while pregnant, she lost the will to live. It's controversial, sure, but there's something poetically tragic about the woman who fought so hard for peace and democracy being destroyed by the person she loved most. Her final words, still believing there was good in Anakin, showcase her unwavering faith even as her world crumbled. The parallel shots of Vader's mask going on while she takes her last breath? Mwah! Chef's kiss to the tragedy. Duchess Satine Kryze suffered perhaps the cruelest death in the Clone Wars. Darth Maul didn't just kill her, he used her as a weapon against Obi-Wan. Their forbidden love story, seriously, these Jedi and their attachment issues, made her death even more painful. Remember, my dear Obi-Wan, I've loved you always, I always will. Those final words, spoken as she died in Obi-Wan's arms, proved that Maul knew exactly how to hurt his enemies. The pacifist leader of Mandalore, killed by the very violence she fought against. The poetry writes itself. Han Solo broke 1,000,000 hearts in The Force Awakens. Our favorite scoundrel, trying to save his son, got a lightsaber through the chest for his trouble. Harrison Ford finally got his wish to kill off Han, but did it have to be like that? The way he touched Ben's face after being stabbed, still the loving father even in death, it's a gut punch. Han went from, I'm in it for the money, to dying for love. That's character growth that hurts. Shmi Skywalker started this whole tragedy. Anakin's mother, dying in his arms after being tortured by Tusken Raiders, triggered the first real glimpse of Vader. I'm so proud of you, Annie. She died not knowing her son would become a monster, still seeing him as her little boy. Her death scene in Attack of the Clones remains one of the most emotionally raw moments in the saga. The music, Anakin's rage, the sunset, it's the moment everything started to fall apart. The Clone Wars prove that copies can have souls, and losing them hurts just as much. 5's CT-5555 uncovered the truth about Order 66 and died for it. This ARC trooper's journey from rookie to conspiracy theorist to tragic hero represents everything great about the Clone Wars. He discovered the inhibitor chips, figured out Palpatine's plan, and got shot by Commander Fox before he could save his brothers. The mission, the nightmares, they're finally over. His death in Rex's arms, so close to preventing the Jedi Purge, makes it even more tragic. 5's died knowing the truth, but unable to stop it. 99, the defective clone who proved that heroes come in all forms. Despite being deemed unfit for combat due to his malformations, 99 showed more courage than any soldier. His death defending Kamino, fighting alongside the cadets he inspired, proved that being a soldier isn't about physical perfection. It's about heart. I'm a soldier, like you. This is what I was bred for. He died as he lived, helping his brothers. Heavy gave us our first real clone sacrifice. The rookie who almost went AWOL became the hero who manually detonated explosives to destroy the Rishi Moon outpost. Do we take prisoners? I don't. His final stand with that Z6 rotary cannon was the moment the Clone Wars showed us that these weren't just faceless soldiers, they were people. Tech from the Bad Batch calculated the odds and made the choice anyway. When have we ever followed orders? Became painfully ironic when he followed his final order, to protect his squad. His matter-of-fact acceptance of his sacrifice, Plan 99, was perfectly in character. The genius clone who always had a solution finally faced a problem with only one answer. His death left a tech-sized hole in the Bad Batch and our hearts. The systematic execution of the Jedi Order remains Star Wars' darkest hour. Ki-Adi-Mundi sensed it coming. That split second of recognition before his Galactic Marines opened fire on Megiddo? Haunting. This Jedi Master who sat on the Council, who dismissed the return of the Sith, died proving just how wrong he'd be. His binary brain allowed him to react quickly enough to block shots, but the Galactic Marines were too much for him. The betrayal in his eyes sells the horror of Order 66. Aayla Secura suffered perhaps the most brutal on-screen execution. Shot in the back by Commander Bly in the 327th on Felucia, she never got to ignite her lightsaber. Then, as she fell to the ground, the clone troopers continued to pepper her dead body with relentless blaster fire. The excess of it all, they kept shooting long after she fell, showed how the chips overrode any humanity in the clones. Plo Koon, the Jedi who discovered Ahsoka, died alone in a starfighter above Cato Neimoidia. This master of the Force, beloved by fans for his compassion and distinctive appearance, was shot down by Captain Jag without warning. His death was swift, but no less painful. Another good man erased in seconds. Jaro Tapal, Cal Kestis's master in Jedi Fallen Order, gave us Order 66 from a Padawan's perspective. His sacrifice to save Cal, taking blaster bolt after blaster bolt while ensuring his apprentice's escape, added another layer to the tragedy. Hold the line became his final lesson, one that would haunt Cal for years. The younglings. We need to talk about the younglings. Anakin walking into that room, lightsaber ignited. As those children look to him for protection, it's the moment Anakin truly died and Vader was born. Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do? That innocent question followed by the lightsaber ignition remains one of cinema's darkest implications. Because Star Wars loves a good redemption arc, even if it kills them, Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader completed the saga with his sacrifice. After decades of evil, he chose his son over his master. Tell your sister, you were right. Those final moments, asking Luke to remove his mask so he could see him with his own eyes? Pure emotional devastation. The Chosen One fulfilled the prophecy, but the cost was everything. His Force Ghost appearing young and whole beside Yoda and Obi-Wan in the special editions? Controversial, but emotionally resonant. Ben Solo followed his grandfather's path to redemption. After killing his father and terrorizing the galaxy, he chose love over power. He met his end by using his own life force to heal Rey, a selfless act that cemented his redemption and added to the emotional impact of his death. That smile before he became one with the Force? Ben Solo, not Kylo Ren, died at peace. Agent Kallus didn't die, but the Imperial ISB agent we met did. His redemption arc in Rebels, becoming Fulcrum after witnessing the Empire's atrocities, showed that even the worst people can change. Sometimes the death isn't physical, it's the death of who you were. Commander Gray proved that Order 66 could be overcome. Years after executing his Jedi General Depa Billaba, he broke free of his programming and sacrificed himself to save the Padawan he'd once hunted. His death fighting against the Empire he'd helped create was both tragic and hopeful. Not every death comes in battle. Sometimes the galaxy takes the gentle souls too. Queel spoke softly and carried no stick. This Ugnaughts' death in The Mandalorian hit hard because he represented pure goodness. He sees Grogu's safety as paramount to his values because he does not want anyone else to go through Imperial servitude. Shot while protecting Baby Yoda, his final, "I have spoken," came through a calm as his killers closed in. A lifetime of earning his freedom, only to die protecting someone else's. Leia Organa deserved better. Carrie Fisher's real-world passing forced an impossible situation, and while her death in The Rise of Skywalker served the plot, it felt hollow. The circumstances can do justice for our princess/general. Using her last energy to teach Ben, dying to save her son as her mother couldn't save her, brought things full circle. Still, we all wanted more for our general. Stella Guerrera showed that heroes don't always survive their own stories. Saw's sister died liberating Onderon in the Clone Wars, shot by a separatist gunship while reaching for Ahsoka's help. Her death hardened Saw into the extremist we'd later meet, proving how loss shapes survivors. Jyn Erso and Cassian Andor held each other as Scarif burned. These two wounded souls found connection in their final mission, dying in each other's arms as the Death Star plans transmitted. Your father would be proud. Their beach death scene in Rogue One, finding peace in those last moments, remains beautifully tragic. Every death in Star Wars serves a purpose. They're not just emotional manipulation. Okay, maybe a little. They teach us about sacrifice, love, redemption, and the cost of war. Qui-Gon's death shaped Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's death shaped Luke. Luke's sacrifice shaped the galaxy. It's a chain of loss and inspiration stretching across generations. The saddest deaths are the preventable ones. If the Jedi had listened to Fives, if Anakin had trusted Obi-Wan, if fear hadn't led to anger, anger to hate, hate to suffering. These deaths remind us that in the galaxy of lightsabers and force powers, the most powerful thing is still choice. George Lucas once said Star Wars is about family. These deaths prove it. Whether biological family like the Skywalkers, found family like the Ghost Crew, or chosen family like Rex and his brothers, the losses that hurt most are the ones that break these bonds. So, there you have it. Every major tearjerker in the Star Wars galaxy. From Order 66 to Order Tissues, these deaths shape the saga we love. They remind us that even in a fantasy universe, loss is universal. But so is hope. For every death, there's a legacy. For every ending, a new beginning. Did we miss any deaths that destroyed you? Still not over that one character? Let me know in the comments below. Misery loves company, and we've got a whole galaxy of sadness to discuss. If you enjoyed this emotional roller coaster, hit that like button harder than Palpatine hit Mace Windu with Force Lightning. Subscribe for more Star Wars content, and remember, the Force will be with you. Always, even when it hurts.